Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun tip video, this time maybe on the fan brush. And of course, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future painting videos. Let's get started. We'll start off today with our fan brush and a little bit of green and black. Not too much, and I'm just going to break the bristles open by tapping it into the palette. Now, you may recognize this little scene from our other tip video. It's just simply our little practice canvas. All right, so now I'm going to start by giving myself a line. We're going to paint an evergreen. You probably learned doing this. I'm going to avoid showing you kind of the normal stuff, and I'm going to show you some of the really interesting, different things that I've figured out we can do with this fan brush. Because every time you play with it, you learn new things. Okay, so now I'm going to really smash this brush into my palette. This looks crazy, but actually it's so thin. The brush is really thin. It flares well when you tap it. See that? You break the bristles right open. Okay, I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to texturize this tree. This is really simple. And by flaring it out, see, you get so much better detail. Come all the way up. Let it be fuzzy like that, because evergreen needles, they should be fuzzy. The edges should be ragged, not so much just straight. Although the straight way, that's great to learn. But on these tip videos, I really want to take it one step further and show you different things that you probably haven't really explored too much of yet. So instead of using the traditional working down the tree method, I'm going to have you guys come straight into the canvas and hold your paintbrush in your fingers like this so that you can easily spin it. See that? Don't let it rest down on your hand. Leave it free flowing so you can spin it. Yeah, you're going to have less control, but who cares? Who wants control? We want this tree to be out of control. We want it to go all over the place. See that? This is going to give you a really ragged tree for like those rough evergreen scenes. When you want to paint those, big mountain or something, you want like a really neat old evergreen with a lot of texture and detail. This is the way you get there. See, spin that brush in your fingers. Good, good, good. Not too much paint. Now, I went ahead and I just took the same color, green and black here, and I covered up our original scene down here so that I can show you how to paint grass. So this is all wet down here. Okay, so now we have a nice little base coat here. I'm going to wipe my brush on well, let me just get a new one. It'll actually help you if you have a couple fan brushes going, one for light and one for dark. Let's start on this tree over here. All right, let me grab some yellow, both yellows, and a touch of sap green. There we go. And we're going to highlight with the same method. Break the bristles open. Now, you may be wondering, well, your fan brush doesn't look exactly like mine. Well, I paint with mine all the time, and it's really ragged. And that's good sometimes, and sometimes it's not as helpful. So, again, if you have a couple, it's even better. There. And just let this wander down, getting softer as you come down here. Look at that, isn't that neat? So you don't necessarily have to follow the traditional way to make an evergreen. You can do it different ways, and I really like showing you guys all sorts of new things you can do with these brushes. All right. There. But even if you have a brand new fan brush, it will work for all these techniques that I'm showing you. You do it with an old one or a new one. They will last you a long time, and they have different stages in their life because they just get worn out. Eventually they get to where they're really worn out and you can use them for amazing little details. So don't throw away your brushes. They do different things as they progress. I'm going to pop some of our darks back in. Good. And there, look at that nice little tree. Back to our fan brush. Let's give it another highlight. Let me show you how to do a multiple highlight tree. There we go, yellow and white. Watch this, right on the end. Right on the end of the branches, I want to touch just a little more light. See that? Turn the brush, look at that detail you get there. All right, I love it. Just tap. Again, see how I'm being loose and spinning it in my fingers? Look, this finger's not even touching. There. All right, look at that massive amount of detail we created there. with very little effort. It looks just so much more natural to me. All right, let me show you one of my most favorite things to do here is painting grass. So to do that, I'm going to load up this fan brush with a little bit of our yellow and green. Okay, absolutely my favorite thing to do with the fan brush. Tap it to break the bristles open. In the background, I'm going to just set my brush down and drag it like this. Okay, this only works if you have a little bit of a wet background, not a ton. If you go in here, and let me show you because I don't want you to have any problems. Some people like to apply their underpainting this thick. You see how thick that is? Some people do it. Watch what happens when you try to paint over this. See how it gets muddy? And look, you can't go for very long, and then you just start losing that color. Avoid doing that. I'm going to blend that in. Spread that all over the place. So if this doesn't work for you, try to reduce the amount of underpainting that you have. The oil paint down here is actually your worst enemy, the underpainting. It can cause you huge problems if you don't watch it. All right, so there. And this is different from a traditional grass stroke with the fan brush because if you're at all familiar with, a lot of normal techniques and techniques that I've showed you too, we sometimes crunch in like this with the fan brush, and that's okay. But I think just by pulling down like this, I find that even more fun. I like this better personally, but you should paint the grass however you feel most comfortable and however you like it to look, because it does look slightly different. There, I love how we can make this come forward. We can do that simply by, let's get us a nice bright color so you can see it. And remember, tap that brush. Watch this. I'm going to have you kick your hand up, handle toward the ceiling, and hit it and press down like this. See that? And you can create huge blades of grass very quickly. Look at this. Look at this. It's like a field of grass. Nice. And this fan brush, because it's so thin, you can get away with this. If you have something that's too stiff or too much bristles, too many bristles, it's just not going to be the same. So be very careful about that. See how let it get bigger and bigger as it comes forward. Nice. I'm going to throw a couple of kind of medium-sized ones in there. Nice. And that's what it takes to kind of create a beautiful little grassy meadow. And of course, we can kind of blend it into this background just by touching. There. So now you've got all sorts of beautiful effects. And you did it really quick and easy. This fan brush is going to be one of your favorite tools when you learn some of these little tricks. There. I want to show you how to put even more beautiful bright grass in here. A little bit of yellow and white. A lot of paint this time because this is the last time we're going to go over this. There. See that? Just slap some beautiful, tall, bright grass in there. Not too much. Don't overdo this one. There. You can even throw some flowers in. Let me wipe out my brush on a paper towel. It's better than washing it. And I'm going to just take a little bit of white and a little bit of blue. White and blue. Tap it on the brush. Break the bristles open. You guys know how to do this. All right, ready for this? Just touch in, and you can give yourself beautiful little blue wildflowers. Super simple, but boy is it effective. I do this sometimes for my landscape paintings, and it just brings them to life. Especially when you think, that meadow's nice, but it's lacking a little something. This is a tip that'll really help your painting. Throw in these little wildflowers, and the fan brush is the easiest way to paint them. There's other ways, and there's ways to make them larger and more detailed, but if all you need is a suggestion of wildflowers, oh man, try the fan brush. It works so well. But my absolute favorite thing to do with this fan brush is grass. In my opinion, there is no better brush for creating grass, because you can make tall grass, medium grass, and far away grass with one brush. There's our little flowers. That's pretty. We've got some flowers blooming around here this time of year, so I love these little field of flower paintings. These are so cool. Oh, there you go. Really nice. And of course, let me just show you. I don't know that we really need it, but I want to show you just in case. Let me set down this brush and grab the dark one for light, one for dark. Okay, break it open. I just want to show you what you can do. You can pop your darks back in if you need to. Right back over this. We didn't necessarily, but I'm just trying to show you in case you feel like you need to. There. So you can even do it back here. You can pop the darks back in, create little shadows. Maybe we want a shadow over here. Shadow from the evergreen. Nice. Light and dark contrast. Really makes the painting come alive. All right, well, I think we're done with this quick free tip video. I hope you've really learned how to use the fan brush to create even more detail and realism in your paintings. Also, don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and my brush line. And thanks for watching.